with more rain and wind expected over the next few days, this river that I'm standing in could be over my head in a matter of minutes. Let's see, I've been working on this skill right here. Oh, we got another one. I think I might be going from a McCoy to maybe on the Canes roster, you think? In the next 20 minutes, I'll show you how you might be able to get your skills this weekend for the grand opening of the rink in Apex. Thermometer that I'm gonna show you. I'm first gonna point it at the grass here, and you know, the sun is just starting to come out. So on the grass, we're seeing about 89.6 degrees, okay? Now I'm gonna point it at the asphalt here, and it's picking up almost 100 degrees. It's 99.8. I'm gonna get my hand out here on the slide. Let's see, this is just one of the many things here. Woo, let's see, and I stuck the land. That's not gonna be the case for everyone. We have some nice fluffy snow. This is the snow that I want to play in, and look at how easy that's even coming off your windshield. And their backyard is now replaced with this large body of moving water. They say that this is happening because there's a drain at the top of their hill that actually is blocked with debris. You can see some of the debris kind of farther down the road, some of these rocks that even got washed down. So when the road is flooded, you don't know what you're driving on. Their first appearance has been canceled today, and we'll update you as we learn more. But what's most important is this 15-year-old is home and safe. She was first reported missing on Tuesday morning. She was last seen in Spring Lake. That's where she lives, but agencies worked around the clock to make sure that she got home. She was found on Thursday morning, safe and sound in Dare County. That's more than 200 miles away from her home. We brought you this story just a week before he was killed, and he's right next to me on the right in this photo that you're seeing. And one of the things that we talked about that day was the mindset that these officers have of going into these situations knowing that they might leave a widow at home, they might leave a child without a parent.
He's in there!
He's this way, this way!
He got a gun! He's inside! I'm shot! I need help! He's in there!
We define the mission as a two-step process. Stop the killing first, and then stop the dying.
This is the only mission Greensboro Police Sergeant Jonathan Matthews has for his officers in the event of an active attacker.
Put yourself in this position and have some self-awareness and do some self-analysis and think about how you've responded in the past, how you would respond.
This aggressive, crucial response training prepares officers for the worst-case scenario and to take down the threat, despite who is holding the weapon.
We want our folks to be prepared to dive into voluntarily those very complex, dangerous situations.
Since the Columbine shooting in 1999, officers' response methods have changed.
It's really the first one that played out on national television.
Years ago, officers waited for a SWAT team to arrive before making entrance, which evolved into a 4-person officer team being present to enter the building. But with the majority of deaths happening within the first 5 to 10 minutes, officers now train under Solo Officer Rapid Deployment, or SWORD, making entrance as soon as an officer arrives on scene.
So unfortunately, the idea of an active rampage-style killing has become very commonplace in America in the last 25 years. And so we are trying to stay kind of ahead of the training curve and train all of our 600 officers on how to aggressively solve these very complex problems.
Officers use past shootings as ways to better their strategies, looking at the tragedy of Uvalde in 2022, where officers took over an hour to enter the classroom, whereas in Nashville in March of 2023, officers took down the suspect within 4 minutes of arrival.
We approach this topic from the idea that there are things in life worse than dying. And a lot of people don't agree with that, right? But if we believe and we teach our folks, if you're at the moment where you can choose to save innocent folks and you don't, I don't think you can psychologically recover in this lifetime from that decision.
He's in there!
He's this way, this way! Screaming, blood, victims, and gunfire are driving forces to lead officers to an active attacker.
You can never fully 100% inoculate yourself, your mind, your emotions, your spirit against, thinking that you're getting ready to possibly die.
Go, go, go! It's a tough thought to process, as any officer entering an active attacker situation like this could leave behind a spouse, children, or friends. I was invited to participate in an active attacker response simulation to see what it's like for everyday officers, like Captain Corey Flowers, who would have to be in these situations.
Nope.
Oh, this way.
Just like that.
You're taking the pledge that you're going to voluntarily put yourself between danger and chaos and strangers. Now, if that gives you pause, this may not be the profession for you, and that's okay, but this is the time to make that decision, not at the moment of truth.
He's in here, he's in here! Officers train with sim rounds made of wax and plastic, similar to paintballs, firing 400 feet per second, and demonstrate if you would have made it out alive. As you can see from the paint marks, it shows I would have been shot 4 times, including my head. To the gut, and then the hip.
You feel the pain, you know when you're behind adequate cover, you know when your rounds are impacting where you want them to go.
In this situation, officers must decide if they're going to pull the trigger or freeze. Right, to the right.
To get them comfortable operating in stress, so that when they get thrown into the worst day, like one of my pals says, when the devil comes, then they're as ready as we know that we have been able to make them.
Officers are trained to use their aggression, decisiveness, and speed as their most valuable advantage, basing their thoughts on an OODA loop. By observing, orienting, and deciding faster, officers can act quicker.
We tell our folks, when you plan, when you make a very rigid plan and then something doesn't go according to your plan will fall apart. As opposed to if you prepare your mindset.
Flowers, who has been with the GPD since 1999, says he has been involved in an active shooter situation himself, and that each situation is different.
Will I run in by myself to a preschool, or will I wait for my partner for 15 seconds? Well, I may not choose to wait.
As the stress of these scenarios hit their body, their heart rate rises.
So you're pumped right now, huh?
Yeah. Thoughts become hazy. I heard the screaming from this side, and I heard popping coming from the right side of the door, and motor skills deteriorate. Flower says breathing exercises can help control their breathing and composure. He also says it's important to decompress after the call. Kind of grew up in the era of school where our school did go on lockdown a lot and different things, and so I think seeing this and what you guys would do to come protect us, like if we were in school, or nieces and nephews that I have, or at the grocery store, so it is a newfound appreciation as well. Just the, I know they're going to come and help, and they're going to do everything they can to make sure that we're all okay.
Next.
Elijah Childers is the chief of the Pilot Mountain Rescue Squad and has been involved with rescues for about 9 years.
Most people pick their hobbies as crocheting or knitting or, making something, but this is my release.
The volunteers serve Pilot Mountain and do water rescues and recoveries.
Rescue, rescue, rescue.
They come from all generations.
This equipment will help you in regards to knowing how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, it can hurt you just as much as it can help you.
Each responder must know how to protect themselves and those they are going to save with vital training and equipment like sonar.
This gives us a leg up in rescuing somebody, or in the sad case, recovering someone and giving closure to a family.
Childers says this is how they get back to the community. Their motto is, "These heartbeats respond for you." But oftentimes when recoveries happen and equipment like this is used on bodies, it takes a mental and physical toll on the volunteers.
I'm that person's last contact. They come up and you put a water body bag around that person. It's a very sobering contact.
Childers says you should respect the water because you may not realize the conditions under the surface that include strong currents as well as tree limbs or rocks.
The worst thing you can do on water is panic. Again, if you respect water, it'll respect you back.
He says to go through a checklist before entering the water. You should check the weather forecast ahead of time. Ask everyone in your parties about their swimming abilities. Look at the map of the area. How deep does the water go? And what are designated swimming areas and areas you should avoid? Have everyone wear a life vest and know where other flotation devices are. Know where cell phones are in case you need to call 911, and if there is an AED kit nearby.
The first thing people want to do is to climb that rescuer or try to grab a hold of that rescuer. Remain calm. That rescuer will get close to you. He will give you some type of raft, some type of device, flotation device that's going to keep you stable, keep you calm, and will bring you back to safety.
He says if you see someone in trouble in the water, tell them to remain calm and that you are coming to help. throw them a flotation device and or rope to see if they can come to you, with the last measure being getting in the water yourself and have a backup plan.
If that person is irate and they're attacking, you leave them be. All right, you let them calm down. You don't approach them because they will take you under. You will be a victim of drowning if that person gets a hold of you.
It was basically, it was just a big teddy bear, so to speak. You know, his build could be very intimidating, but when you have an opportunity to engage with him, just his personality, he could be a practical joker, if you will. And that's what people didn't really know about him.
Memories of jokes and future dreams is what Roger Floyd has left of his nephew.
He was pursuing his CDLs, his commercial driver's license, because he wanted to pursue truck driving, if you will.
A dream lost when George Floyd's life was taken in 2020.
I can't breathe. It always serves as a reminder of that tragic day when that took place.
Now, his last words are engraved in history and the North Carolina Freedom Park.
It triggered something in the individuals that got out at that particular time, no matter what country they were in, because they could relate, because something like that perhaps was taking place right in their own space.
Creating a ripple effect across the globe, something Roger hopes to continue 5 years later through avenues like the Family Floyd Center and the North Carolina Freedom Park.
And we hope that it's a positive impact for those who come and visit, if you will, and that they can take it back and tell their experience when they encountered this space. That's what it's all about.
Nestled in the heart of the state capitol stands a symbol of hope, the North Carolina Freedom Park.
Hi, Roger. How are you?
Doing well.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
As Roger Floyd looks around at the inscriptions etched in stone, his heart goes out to the loved one he lost.
It's something that will always remind us as humans how short life can be snuffed out.
Roger's nephew is George Floyd. He was one of the first people to hold George after he was born.
I have always had a fond memory of that particular situation.
Now he's left with memories and George's last words, "I can't breathe," that are inscribed in the park. An opportunity to leave an impression on the younger generation.
That's the whole key, and that's what we want to really perpetuate in such a way that it does make a difference, and it's a part of their DNA, so to speak, that I can do this, I can do better, I can make a difference going forward, and that's how we engage. So I get that from this space.
George's death reignited protest around the state, nation, and world as demonstrators demanded change.
We are a part of the human race, and we are so much better together than we are apart. So there may be differences, but when we come together, change is very possible. I'm talking about real change.
Now, 5 years later,
Don't you think it's outstanding?
Yeah, it is outstanding.
It got your attention, didn't it?
Roger says the park stands as a nurturing ground for those who visit.
That's what it's all about. How does this space impact you as an individual? Does it create some type of change in you? What did it emote in such a way that you feel you can leave this spot and go and make a difference back into your own community first?
He says his family has processed George's death.
We didn't get angry with God because it took place. We just basically understood the foundation and what is happening in the world nowadays with individuals.
They continue to honor his memory through the Floyd Family Center and are working to strengthen police relations with the community.
We want to be able to leave our home in the morning and return in the evening, if you will. So does police officers. They have family. They want to come out, they want to do their job, and they want to return home in the evening to their families as well.
Sydney McCoy, Spectrum News 1.